Half a century ago, Jaywick was a thriving holiday resort, though it's hard to imagine now. For years, this village on the east coast of England has been listed as one of the UK's poorest places. 5,000 people have been left to work out how to live in almost complete isolation. Danny has taken it upon himself to speak for the community. He set up the Jaywick Happy Club, a defiant gesture of hope over adversity.
We need to help the younger people, rather than they take the wrong turn because there's no jobs. They might get into bad habits like smoking cannabis or doing drugs or drinking. But we can save these people by giving them opportunities that everyone in every other town has.
Everywhere there are stories of the impact of decline and austerity. John is an unemployed tyre fitter. The government is changing his benefits as part of a deeply controversial new system, which leaves people without money for weeks on end. John has food for 3 more days. But what are you going to do if you get past Wednesday and you've got no food?
Well, I'll have to go around and borrow friends and that.
How do you feel about that?
Not very well, because you don't like borrowing, really. So, and I'll have to get a food parcel or something from the council.
Any old iron? Any old iron?
JJ cycled past. Someone has given him an old gate. He collects and sells bits of scrap metal to make ends meet. It really is what passes for work here.
Whatever I make on it, it goes in the house. For electric, food, whatever we need. That's how we do it around here.
Jaywick made international news recently when it was misleadingly used in a campaign photo for Donald Trump, warning of the effects of socialism on America. Since the photo, the roads have been paved. It's what passes for success here. There are many right-wing politicians and commentators who are absolutely livid that the United Nations is here at all. How dare the UN come to one of the richest countries in the world, they say, and lecture us like this. But it is still a fact that the wealth gap in the UK is now enormous, and poverty in places like Jaywick is both absolute and entrenched. So into all this walked the United Nations Rapporteur on poverty and human rights.
Certainly I've heard from a lot of people who are living pretty grim lives. A lot of misery in the country, I think. A lot of the statistics are pretty discouraging in terms of rough sleeping, in terms of child poverty, in terms of at least talk about suicide and so on. So there's obviously a lot of problems there.
Jaywick hopes the United Nations will have left with an impression of a place which is proud and wants nothing more than hope, even if it has a profound sense of injustice. But even if the United Nations is listening, it's not at all clear whether politicians just 100 kilometres away in London have any idea about life here. Laurence, Al Jazeera, Jaywick.